In 2020, the concept of quick commerce did not exist in India, and the existing model of e-commerce at the time was slow and fragmented. You had to wait for days to get basic things like groceries and packaged foods. And this was because Indian companies at the time followed a model that was taken from the US, and it was called the warehousing model. Under this, you store products in a massive warehouse on the outskirts of a city and then deliver to the customers from there. And this model was fundamentally flawed for the Indian market, simply because we have Kirana stores at every nook and corner of our streets. So instead of waiting for 2 to 3 days to get things like vegetables delivered, we can just go down and get them in 10 minutes. This was the same problem that Aadit and Kaivalya thought about during the early days of the pandemic. They were inspired by Instacart in the US and soon realized that if they wanted to replicate the same business in India, the fundamental thing they would have to solve for is time. This insight led to the birth of quick commerce in India, a market that's already more than $3 billion in size and is growing by 25% each year. And the idea that was started by two teenagers is now being replicated by almost every e-commerce company in India.
Grofers has rebranded to Blinkit, pivot to quick commerce to deliver products to customers in under 10 minutes in several cities.
I think quick commerce is overall a better e-commerce model.
Quick commerce players in India have been able to sustain the COVID-led momentum by registering a 77% growth.
Zepto, which was started just 3 years ago, is now being valued at $3.3 billion. And the founders want to make it the next D-Mart of India. So in this video, let's understand how Zepto made it all possible. What are some things they did right? And what are some challenges in front of them if they want to become the next D-Mart of India? Aadit and Kaivalya started Zepto as a passion project. During the pandemic, they were stuck in Mumbai at their apartment and noticed something interesting happening. People there could not go out to get groceries due to the lockdown, and the online grocery delivery companies took days to get the groceries delivered. And so, with nothing better to do, two of them started helping their neighbors get the groceries. This simple idea soon grew from a few neighbors to creating a WhatsApp group, and they now started delivering groceries for the entire neighborhood. Once they hit the limit of 256 people, the number of people WhatsApp allows in one group, they thought they could scale it up. So they built an app and named it Kiranakart. Why Kiranakart, you might ask? Because they wanted to make an Indian version of Instacart, which by the way is a massive company in the US. More than 10 years old, $13 billion in valuation, and is also into grocery delivery. So this was the vision of building an Indian version of Instacart. And the way they differentiated themselves from other grocery delivery companies like Big Basket was quick delivery. It wasn't 10 minutes at the time, but it was under an hour. And that really appealed to people. Within 5 to 6 weeks of launching the app, they started getting close to 300 orders a day. This was pretty significant, and the founders realized that they were onto something. And once the number of orders increased, the founders thought of hiring more people and started looking for funding. They applied for a student-focused VC fund called Contrary Capital and got $50,000 in funding at $2.5 million valuation.
We applied to this thing called a Contrary Capital. It was a fellowship. And it was a crazy idea for two kids sitting in Bombay. They basically said, we'll give you 40 lakhs for free and like no questions asked, just take 40 lakhs if you're building something interesting.
So at that point, we're like a student-focused VC fund. So said we'll give $50,000 to 5 teams that are working on something in a gap year.
This was great news for two 17-year-olds, and they thought they would scale Kiranakart. But then something happened that forced them to rethink the entire plan. Their customers told them that they are using their app only till the lockdown is lifted, because after that, they can just go down and get the groceries. They don't have to wait for 1 hour to get the vegetables delivered.
We realized we would speak to customers and they would tell us upfront, hey, we're using the app, there's lockdown, we don't really want to go out, but we don't really like the app. It's not that good, right? Once lockdown is over, we're just going to go back to like buying offline.
This was a huge wake-up call for both the young founders, but also an insight at the same time. At that moment, they understood why online grocery delivery companies were not successful in India. People wanted faster deliveries. If they had to wait for days or even hours to get their groceries, then what's the point? They could just get it themselves. Most of these grocery items were right outside their homes at a Kirana store down the street. It took them just 10 minutes. This was the key insight. It's not the accessibility, it's the time which is important here. And with this new focus, Kiranakart rebranded to Zepto in April 2021. And why Zepto, you might ask? Well, Zepto second in physics terms is the shortest amount of time ever measured. And it's written like this. So with this rebranding, speed became the key focus for the company, and this was the origin of 10-minute delivery in India. So Zepto had decided that they would deliver groceries in 10 minutes, but they didn't really know how to do it. If they continued to follow their old model of sending a delivery person to a grocery store and then getting it packed from the shopkeeper and then delivering it to the customer, it would not be done in 10 minutes. There were just too many touch points, and if anything gets delayed, the order will get late. And so Zepto needed a new model, and this was made possible because of this guy. His name is Suvir Sujan, the co-founder of Nexus Venture Partners. He was the one who suggested the dark store model to Zepto founders. And Suvir is not your regular VC without any experience in building startups. In his early days, Suvir had built Bazi, one of the earliest e-commerce marketplaces in India, which was later acquired by eBay. After selling Bazi, Suvir started Nexus Venture Partners with 2 other co-founders, and has since followed India's e-commerce sector very closely. And Suvir had understood that this Kirana delivery model has thin margins, and the only way to solve this is by building a full stack model and taking a tech first approach, basically controlling the entire process involved. And for this, he suggested setting up dark stores, a place where they could store all the products and then deliver them to the customers from there. And once Zepto founders agreed to pivot to this new model, he invested $6.5 million into the company. Now, as soon as Zepto raised that big Series A funding round, other companies in the sector started adopting the same quick delivery model. And for a while, it looked like Zepto would be eaten by the other sharks. It was a new company with 2 17-year-old founders, and they were against these decade-old giants with billions of dollars in their bank. But in the last 3 years, not only has Zepto survived in this cutthroat market, but is also thriving. At the time of me filming this video, Zepto has a 21% market share in India's quick commerce market. In terms of revenue, Zepto made over 2,000 crore rupees in FY23, which was more than 14 times of the previous year. And for FY24, they haven't announced their revenue yet, but according to Aadit Palicha, their monthly revenue run rate is 400 crore rupees, which means their annual revenue for FY24 could be around 5,000 crore rupees. This, if we compare with Blinkit, is more than double. Even Swiggy Instamart's projected revenue for FY24 is less than that. So now, let's see what has Zepto done right to get to this point. The biggest reason for Zepto's success is its efficiency. Take a look at this graph by the morning context. It shows that Zepto is doing 5.2 lakh orders per day from its 360 dark stores, which means they are doing around 1,450 orders per day from one store. Now compare this with Swiggy, which is doing 6 lakh orders from 490 stores. And this comes down to 1,225 orders per day from one store. Let's now calculate how much revenue these stores are making. Let's say the average order value for both is 400 rupees, which means Zepto is making 5,80,000 rupees daily per store and Swiggy is making 4,90,000 rupees. Now let's scale this number. Let's say both of them are running 1,000 dark stores. Then this difference goes up to 9 crore rupees a day per store, which translates to 3,285 crore rupees in the entire year. This is a massive number, and it shows what efficiency at scale looks like. And this focus on efficiency has helped Zepto make most of its dark stores operationally profitable. In fact, 75% of its 360 dark stores today are running profitably.
If we stop growing, stop launching new markets, which we will not do, but if we did that, we would have a clear roadmap to getting to cash flow break even as an overall business, within a reasonable time frame. Not 3 years, 5 years, but within a year, maximum year and a half.
But Zepto doesn't intend to stop growing anytime soon. They plan to double the number of dark stores to 700 within a year. And this is because they have cracked the profitability model. Earlier, it used to take them 23 months to make a store profitable. But now, that number has come down to 6 months.
It used to take about 23 months to turn a store profitable. Now it's taking only about 6 months to turn a store profitable. And so there's a lot of execution-led leverage on variable cost reduction, on advertising revenue growing, on overall margin mix management, right, with the different categories that we've launched, on CAC reduction, all of which has sort of helped us improve store level profitability.
But how are they so much more efficient than their competitors? What's their secret sauce? Well, to me, it looks like it's in their DNA. See, Zepto was started at a time when Indian startups were going through funding winter. And if they wanted to raise money, they had to prove they could solve this problem better than anyone else.
We are one of the only companies in the country right now at our valuation scale that has been built predominantly in a bear market. Look, I think for us, you find something interesting. Most of the Indian ecosystem for startups was built between 2010
2011, 2012 and 2021.
And the same thing is said by Suvir Sujan of Nexus. Palicha can tell you the margin profile for the week. He knows how much he can save by moving to EVs. He looks for every 2 to 4 rupee benefit day in, day out. And let me tell you something very interesting I found out during the research. Zepto has redesigned their delivery bags to save 1 rupee on every delivery. That's how much focused Zepto founders are on efficiency. They know that every rupee adds up. Right now, for example, they are doing 5,20,000 deliveries a day. That's 5,20,000 extra rupees in the bank every day, which translates to more than 18 crore rupees every year. Next, their dark stores are also designed in a way that makes it quicker for them to pack the products.
All of our packers basically have a handheld device, which is basically like an Android phone with a barcode scanner attached to it. And Google Maps style, we sort of navigate them through the most optimal path. So we tell them, go here, take left, take, go to this shelf, pick this up, scan it, put it in the bag. And that's what allows them to do it in about a minute.
Their technology even tells their packers exactly which product needs to be packed first and so on. So they are not broken while packing or at the time of the delivery. And finally, for delivery partners, they hire people who live in the same neighborhood where they deliver, making their deliveries quicker as they are familiar with that area. They have literally thought about everything. And this obsession with efficiency is the main reason behind Zepto's extraordinary growth. The next thing they're doing right is launching private label brands. Just 6 months ago, they launched the fresh meat brand Relish, and it has already reached to a revenue run rate of 500 crore rupees. And according to Aadit, it will be a 1,000 crore revenue company in the next 1 year. And just for context, Licious, which is a 9-year-old brand, is sitting at a revenue run rate of 850 crore rupees. This is a crazy growth for Relish. And after seeing this success, Zepto will surely look at other fast-growing categories to open more private label brands. This is something that Amazon did very well. Once they had the data about which products and categories sold the best, they started their own private label brands to sell them. So far I've talked about what has Zepto done right, but now I want to focus on some areas where they're struggling. And before I talk about anything else, I want to talk about their delivery fees. See, Zepto has a subscription service called Zepto Pass, and one of its key benefits were free delivery above 99 rupees. But the way Zepto implemented this was not something users liked. Here, even if you add items more than 99 rupees to your cart, you still have to manually remove the delivery fee. You have to scroll down to this to pay segment and then see how much delivery fee is being charged, and then you manually have to remove it. Not something you would want to do after paying for a pass that claims to offer free deliveries. And this has pissed off a lot of users, including me. It could be a business tactic, but it's not a smart one if you want to earn your users' trust in the long run. Next, if we talk about Zepto Pass itself, right now the company sells these passes for anywhere between 9 to 39 rupees per month. This is way cheaper than the delivery charges users would have to pay for a single delivery. So it's no brainer that people are buying it in big numbers. But you see, these passes are actually priced at 149 to 299 rupees per month. Right now, they're just giving discounts by burning investors' money. So the question is, will people buy these passes when the discounts go away and they have to pay the original price? That's a big question that Zepto needs to figure out. And let me give you Swiggy's example for context. Back in 2022, Swiggy Instamart was offering free deliveries to their customers on orders above 99 rupees. This was a benefit they added for all the Swiggy One members. But cut to today, Swiggy has increased the cart value for free delivery from 99 rupees to 199 rupees. Also, their membership fee has increased from 299 rupees for 3 months to 1299 rupees for some users. And the result of this, their market share, which was 52% in 2022, has come down to 32%. Now that all discounts have gone away and the company is moving towards profitability. So I'm sure a lot of people who earlier used Swiggy Instamart are now using Zepto simply because it's cheaper. And that is something Zepto has to think about. And this is not the only thing they have taken from Swiggy's playbook. Zepto is now experimenting with Zepto cafes, where they deliver quick snacks like tea, coffee and samosas in 10 minutes. On the face of it, it looks like a good idea. A way to increase average revenue per user and also higher profitability, as these products have higher margins. But again, other players have failed to do so. Swiggy had started Insta cafes, which they later shut down as it involved high expenditure costs and they were not getting as many orders as they had hoped to make it a success. And not just Swiggy, even Zomato had tried this 10-minute food delivery and quit. So again, something which will be interesting to see is how Zepto navigates it in future. And talking about the future, Aadit and Kaivalya have big ambitions with Zepto. They want to be the next DMart of India and want to do it in the next 18 to 24 months. This, in my opinion, is very difficult to do. To put it in context, DMart right now is a $37 billion company. And Zepto, on the other hand, was valued at $3.6 billion in their last funding round. This means they have to grow 10 times in just 2 years. Next, they want to do so just by focusing on groceries, which it turns out is a massive category. According to Aadit, the Indian grocery market would be worth $850 billion by FY29, of which $400 billion would come from top income households, which is Zepto's target market. Another fact that really surprised me during the research is that almost 40% of consumer spending goes into groceries. So in terms of TAM, which is the total addressable market, Aadit and Kaivalya have picked the right sector. In the end, I just want to say that the journey of Zepto has been nothing short of exceptional. They picked a boring sector and made it exciting, not just for themselves, but for the entire e-commerce sector in India. The phenomenon of quick commerce that two teenagers thought of is now being replicated by every e-commerce company in India. And about their vision of becoming the next DMart of India, I can't say when, but they will surely reach there. Financially, the company is at a comfortable stage. They just raised $665 million, and the money, according to Aadit, is enough to take them to the IPO stage in the next 2 to 3 years. Let me know what has been your takeaway from this case study of Zepto. Do you think Zepto is on the right track to becoming the next DMart of India, or are there some fundamental issues with the company that will stop it from doing so? Share your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.